So, taking our first look at Weston's frame after it's completed, I've noticed a couple of things. The first thing is that, this was noted during the build, is that this isn't square. So, got to come up with a way to force these corners apart, a hydraulic jack or something, and then get this into square. The other thing you'll notice is that these two corners are touching and these two corners are not. Now these two ladders on the sides were straight and before they were assembled with the cross pieces, so something in the way that I drilled it made it not square. So I'm going to have to again come up with a way to put some weights on the corners or whatever it is to get it closer. I don't think it needs to be perfectly plumb and square, but it has to be closer than it is now. So with the amount of play that I had in all the joints, plus the fact that things weren't working the way I wanted them to, it's just not square. So we're taking a look at the weight of the different parts of Weston's model car. So the frame still weighs in about 30 pounds, since I added at least 5 pounds of extra aluminum pieces and nuts and bolts. I don't quite believe that. I don't think the scale is very good on the low end. But the wheels and the drive motor and the axle weigh in at 35 pounds. So that will be in the back. And then the steering linkage and the front wheels don't sit. So yep, it weighs about 10 pounds. So we got 35 pounds in the back, 10 pounds in the front, and 30 pounds in the frame. So we're looking at about 100 pounds right now. I would say it's probably a little higher than that. Like I said, the scale's not very good on weighing 1 and 2 pound items, but that's kind of where we are. So these are the things that I just made. You'll notice that the back wheels aren't quite wide enough. There are mounts in here that they're intended to be connected to an axle with, or connected to the frame with. I'm probably going to connect those up to the motor module, and then the hubs. They're a small 4-bolt hub. Probably just going to be extending it out. The wheels are going to end up about there, so I need another 6 inches of width. I'll be using a spacer of some sort, something I cut out of aluminum probably. Either a stack of aluminum or just a couple of 2-inch tubes on each side. And the wheels that I'm intending to use are actually the old wheels that I had on a carry-all vehicle. They're a little bit taller, a little bit wider. They're Turf Saver tires, but they will probably do Weston a little bit better than these tires will. So I'll just basically take the hubs off and extend the axles. On the front side, it's not going to be nearly as dramatic. The steering is connected like this. I'll probably cut this here, bolt this again on either side, and just extend the linkage. So the linkage will be a little longer. It'll take a little bit more oomph to turn it one way and the other. So I believe I got it backwards. It's this way. Because when you crank it one way, the inside tire is supposed to have a higher angle than the outside tire. Otherwise you have trouble steering, which is bad. So this is how it's going to go, and again, this will probably, actually, I should put it on this side. This will probably be out about here, and the linkage is going to be under the frame. Basically just extending, and then the steering wheel will link up to here, and that'll be that. I may end up putting this on the other side just because it's more convenient to. It's not going to be center steering because he's just a little guy, so there's going to be enough room for two side by side, so you can take a buddy or a friend in the car. I think that's about it for now. I'm going to concentrate on getting the frame straightened, and maybe I'll take the wheels off the drive motor and figure out how far apart they have to go. Maybe yeah. Anyway, don't need video for this. So here we have the motor with the wheels removed. The mounting plates are here, and have gaskets, rubber mounts, for a little bit of shock mounting. This can be extended, I believe, with a shaft that will mate up to the wheels for the carryall. I don't think it's going to be a big deal to do it. I'm probably wrong, but right now it doesn't look like a big challenge. This is a half-inch, 5/8 diameter rod, axle. Apparently that's not correct. It's 18 millimeter. So it's an 18 millimeter diameter shaft, which with a full length key, the key is quite large. Key is 50 millimeters long, and the key itself is 4 millimeters wide. So I'm sure it will drive the larger wheels. So here we have the wheels off of the front steering linkage. The bearings are 16 millimeters. Actually, let's try it again. Yeah, the bearings appear to be 16 millimeters. That's a geeky size. Anyway, the wheels are off. We can spread these out. We can use these wheels for the front tires, or we can use the ones from the carryall. In fact, we can use these wheels, the old wheels from on the rear as well. We'll have to have some sort of a carrier bearing to carry the weight on the frame, because these are not going to be situated in the right spot. They'll kind of interfere with the electric motor module. And contrary to how the car is set up to work, these would have to go underneath the frame. If we put them on top of the frame, the ground clearance is just going to be too low and it'll get hung up too easily. So one of the reasons I wanted to go with the carryall tires was because they do have higher ground clearance because they're simply larger. The other thing is I can actually play around a little bit with the mounting because there's a vibrant aftermarket in parts, third-party supplied parts for the carryalls and the golf carts. So here we are back on the frame. I have a 4-inch square aluminum tube placed underneath our frame. And we've got a couple of big pipe clamps, and we're going to see if we can make a difference to how level this is or is not. Right now it's not. So that one wasn't too bad, but that's the part, that's the easy part. The hard part is now going to be convincing this side to go down. I'm going to put a couple of plates across here and spread the pressure a little bit. And I'm going to apply good old-fashioned weight. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your point of view, that much weight appears to make quite a substantial difference. So that should now be closer to square. Taking our measurement device. This used to be just a hair over 42 inches, and it still is. And this used to be almost 42 and a half, and it's now about 42 and a quarter. So it's better than it was. We still need to get this far, these two pieces, or actually these two corners forced apart a little bit. And we'll check with our square. I don't really expect this to have changed our square. Actually, it seems to have made it a little bit. It's closer. So this corner to this corner, I've got to get spread out. Got to figure out some way to do that.